Thanks for supporting the channel by clicking the links in the description box. And thank you so much for liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing. And now let's get into this podversation. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Being Beautifully Honest channel. If you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and the notification button so you know whenever I do upload a new episode. Now let's get into this podversation. All right, Dr. Boyce Watkins. He has been someone that I used to follow on YouTube and even was subscribed to his email list at one point because I definitely felt like some of the things that he was talking about in the earlier years that I started following him was interesting. It was intriguing. For me, it was about finances, and he approached it in a way that I found was relatable. So I'll give him that in the beginning. But I actually stopped following him and stopped subscribing to his channel, and a lot of it was because of his antics over the years, and it just really became tiresome for me, and that's just my opinion. But when he got called out by Lizzo, the singer Lizzo, who responded to him, this wasn't just Lizzo calling out Dr. Boyce Watkins because she didn't like him, she didn't like the size of his head, she didn't like the way his face looked, his teeth looked, how he did his videos or whatever. She didn't even know who he was. He was doing a lot of these videos about her, and then he also tagged her. I guess it was a post on Instagram. And this was maybe about 3 years ago. I want to say maybe about 3 years ago, at the least. And Lizzo responded to Dr. Boyce Watkins, and she pretty much let him know that she wasn't here for his comments. She wasn't here for his antics. And even though some of the things that Dr. Boyce Watkins was talking about when it came to Lizzo, I agreed with when it came to how she was dressed at that infamous basketball game where she had her butt out and she was twerking on the sidelines, that was something to me that was definitely a bit like, wow, you're really doing that? This is like mixed company, children are here, all of that different stuff. And I mean, I'm not even for that type of attire myself, but if that's what you choose to wear and it's in a place that is, I guess, okay for that, then fine. But that was just very strange to me. But the way that Dr. Boyce Watkins called her out and the way he talked about her, not saying anything that he said was any different than some things that other people may have said, but a lot of these people who made the types of comments that he made are people that you would consider to be trolls. But Dr. Boyce Watkins does not want to be seen as a troll. He actually comes across as someone who is very intelligent, or I will say he tries to make himself come across as being someone who is very intelligent. And if you disagree with him, then you are not intelligent, because he makes comments like he only wants to have the 10% of those who are in the Black community who really want to build, who want to, whatever. And then he makes comments like at the beginning of his videos, which was something that bothered me for a long time. Not that it would hit me in a way, but it just was very condescending. He would say a comment like, this is a place for intelligent Black people. So if you're not intelligent and if you're not Black, then you may want to get the F out. It's just very condescending and very, very rude. And people have the right to be rude if you want to be. And if that's what he wants to be, he has the right to be rude. But what is so amazing to me right now, as I've been listening to Kwame Brown's videos recently, and a lot of people are listening to his videos, a lot of people are listening to his content, and a lot of people agree with where he's coming from. One, because he's coming from a space of honesty. He's coming from a space of defending himself, which he has absolutely every right to do so. And he's also coming from a space of being seen as the underdog, which a lot of people in life see themselves as the underdog. They don't see themselves as those who are in that upper elite section of those who are just at the top tier, and you're calling the shots over everybody below you. So a lot of people love to be able to see someone that they feel is in that same type of category that they are, that are able to speak out and that are able to speak truth to power, even if it's in a way that they may not speak, because I may not speak the same way that Kwame speaks, but I agree with a lot of the things that he has said, and especially when it comes to Dr. Boyce Watkins. So when I've been hearing him coming out and defending himself, because listen, everything that he is saying, he has the right to say because he is defending himself. I will say something that one of my favorite bloggers, Funky Dineva, says: you can't do wrong to somebody and tell them how to feel. You can't do wrong to somebody and tell them how to react. You can't do that. And although this recent video that Dr. Boyce Watkins did, and I'm going to put a link to it in the description box, it's called "Here's the Truth About Kwame Brown." Just the title of that video alone is extremely hypocritical, because if you listen to this video, which by the way, he has his comments turned off, so you can't comment on the video. There's no, counting of the likes and the dislikes. And I get it. I understand why, because he knows that a lot of people are going to come to this video who are for Kwame Brown and the things that he has been saying, and they're not for the way Dr. Boyce Watkins has been handling this situation. And the fact that Dr. Boyce Watkins is being extremely disingenuous. Because here's the thing. Dr. Boyce Watkins has a very large platform. It may not be as large as other people's platforms, but he does. At the time that I'm recording this, he has over 280,000 subscribers on his YouTube channel. That's not a small number. And I know from being someone who used to be on his email list, he would send out emails from time to time where he would ask people if they had a certain quality or qualification. He's looking for people to, be on his platform, and he promotes his platform as a large platform. He doesn't promote it as a little small platform. So he's promoting his platform in a large manner. But on this video, he speaks about Kwame Brown, and he says, why is he coming after me with my small channel, with my little channel? At this point, I believe, as I'm recording this, Kwame Brown has over 350,000 subscribers. So yeah, it's more than Dr. Boyce Watkins has on his channel at this moment, but it's not that far from what Dr. Boyce Watkins has. So it's extremely disingenuous for Dr. Boyce Watkins to say that, well, why is he coming after me? And he's coming after my, what I say on my small channel. And then other statements that he made in this video. He says that he doesn't have time to sit and listen to a lot of stuff, so he hasn't listened to a lot of Kwame's information on his videos. But he has taken the time to make videos about Kwame Brown. So the fact that he says that I don't have a whole lot of time to sit and listen to his videos, but he made videos about Kwame Brown and then turns around and says, he doesn't know anything about me. You don't know anything about me, but you're taking time making videos about me and you don't know me. You're doing the same thing. It's so disingenuous for him to say that, when it's like essentially you're doing the same thing that you're accusing Kwame Brown of doing, but yet Kwame Brown has every single right to, if he wants to, create videos and create content calling Dr. Boyce Watkins out. And if he's in a way, if he's feeling a certain type of way, he has a right, if he wants to call him names. You may say, oh, that's childish. That's like little kid stuff. But again, like I said, you can't do wrong to somebody and tell them how to feel. You can't do wrong to somebody and tell them how to behave and how to act. They choose how they want to act out. And I mean, Kwame Brown isn't using violence. He's just speaking words that Dr. Boyce Watkins, he uses a lot of the same language as well. I've listened to a lot of his videos over the span of time when I was subscribed to his channel, and I just kind of got over it, because here's the thing. Roland Martin even called Dr. Boyce Watkins a troll, and I laughed at it, but it honestly is the truth, because an online troll is someone who is looking for attention and they're looking to attach themselves to what is potent and what is popular and popping at the moment. And that has pretty much been the personification of Dr. Boyce Watkins' platform on YouTube for the past several years. He will utilize what is trending, what is popular, what is going on with regards to a celebrity or whatever, and he will talk about it. And it just became more and more and more. He says, don't tell me to only create content about finance because I am a black man who happens to be a finance professor. I'm not just a finance professor, so I will talk about whatever I want to talk about. Okay, well, that's fine. But if it turns people off and you're doing things in a way where it is perceived to be just ruthless or nasty, or you're being, condescending. I mean, he compared Kwame Brown to the cult leader Jim Jones, which my mouth dropped when I heard that he said that. He said that in another video that he created. And you're comparing Kwame Brown to a cult leader who used mind control and manipulative tactics to persuade minority women to follow, to take their money, to take their possessions, to trick them out of leaving the United States to go to some godforsaken land in Guyana. And a lot of these people were convinced to take their own lives. So for Dr. Boyce Watkins to make a comment like that about Kwame Brown, the same person he claims he doesn't know, that is extremely dangerous. And he needs to be called out on it. Lizzo may have clapped back at him because of what he made a post about her on his Instagram account and in the videos that he did. But here's the other thing that I noticed about with Boyce and how he made those videos and the content about Lizzo. When he did the initial posts about Lizzo, he was talking about her being a fat black woman, comparing her to Mammy and saying how she is a tool for white supremacy. But then when Lizzo called him out and clapped back at him, he tried to flip it to make it seem like it was about health and about, a lot of black people are the leaders in diabetes and in just diseases that are generational that kill a lot of people in the black community, and it's involving your weight and your diet, and he talked about how he's getting into shape and working out, and his at the time fiance Alicia and he were going running and working out. So he was basically trying to spin it. But those who he likes to say are intelligent, the intelligent people, they knew that he was really just flipping it, and he really wasn't being honest. He was trying to flip it to make it seem like, oh, well, this is about her health. And, she is definitely obese, and obesity is one of the leading killers in the black community. Like, he was trying to flip it. But let's just be honest, when he was initially calling her out, it was just calling her pretty much just a fat black woman and comparing her to Mammy. And that was it. It wasn't about her health. Because if it was, he wouldn't have said things in the way that he said them. And then now he is upset because Kwame Brown is saying things in a way that he doesn't seem to think is appropriate. He doesn't deem as intelligent. And he basically was calling black people stupid who follow this man, who are subscribed to his platform, who listens to his content. And that, again, is the type of shots that he will make against people. I mean, I've listened to videos, and if somebody makes a comment that he doesn't like, he'll say, well, F you. You can speak again. You can speak however you choose to speak. But then again, hypocritical, because it's not okay for Kwame Brown to continuously make videos if he chooses to make them, because this is his platform and he can make whatever content he chooses to make. Even if he chose to make 5 videos a day about Dr. Boyce Watkins, hey, if he is in his feelings and he wants to break down everything that Dr. Boyce Watkins says and analyze it and critique it and put it out there, he has the right to do so. So it's like, you can't take a taste of your own medicine because you do the same thing to other people. If you go to his platform, if he still has those videos up, Search Boyce Watkins and Lizzo and see how much content you will come up that he created talking about Lizzo. But now it's a problem because Kwame Brown has made several videos talking about him, and he doesn't get it and he doesn't understand it. And he says he's not looking to get followers and gain popularity, but again, that's extremely disingenuous because in essence he is. Because if he wasn't, trust and believe, before Kwame Brown ever got on the scene, all of the other content that he's created about things that were in the news or whatever, it was to gain viewers and subscribers. So you better believe that the videos that he has made talking about Kwame Brown, it was essentially to do the same thing, to gain viewers and subscribers. Flat out, that's what it's been about. So for him to say that that's not what his end game was, it's just not realistic. It's not true. And then he says, well, I only made a video basically because I don't know him. I don't have his number. People were saying that I should call him, but I don't know him and I don't have his number. Again, you don't know him. You don't have his number. So if you just really wanted to help him and you claim that I just thought that he could possibly get shut down by the YouTube algorithm if he made videos with the N-word in the title, so I wanted to let him know that that may not be a good idea. If you wanted to do that, you could have commented on one of his videos. I'm not saying out of the thousands of comments he would have seen your comment, but you could have done that. I'm sure there's probably a way that you could have found an email address or some way to inbox him or DM him to let him know that if you really just wanted to help out. So we already know that that's not the truth. You did it to gain attachment to Kwame and to gain viewers, followers, and subscribers and more money, because the more views, the more subscribers, the more money, and that's it. That's what everything regarding Dr. Boyce Watkins is about, because pretty much everything that it involves, what he has to offer in terms of quote unquote, like he likes to use intelligence and, getting to a better state where it comes to investing or, buying real estate or whatever else he's talking about, all of it involves money. And if you claim to be so much for the community and you claim that Black people are at the bottom of the barrel, then why not give it away for free? Why does everything have to have a charge attached to it? And listen, I'm not even one of those people that feels like everything should be for free, because I do understand that some people don't value free. So sometimes you do have to attach a price to it. But with him, everything has a price. Everything has a price, but he claims he's helped so many people in the community. And hey, maybe he has. Maybe that many people have purchased his courses. But I don't know. I've seen too much with previous people that he's worked with, like Paris Milan, YouTuber that's gained a much larger following since she has dismissed herself from working with him. I believe she also sued him. And then the YouTuber / true community activist Michi X, where it involves some things that were just unethical, where it involved her name and a domain name and some different shady things that happened after she was working with him and chose to separate herself from working with him because of some, unethical things that happened. And I followed that as well. Never made any videos or content on it or talking about it, but I mean, she definitely speaks with truth. She speaks with passion, and she speaks without apology because she's basically telling the truth. But when it involved her, he wouldn't really speak out and defend himself with it because there wasn't really anything that he could defend about it. What's wrong is wrong. So with this situation with Kwame Brown, I just really find it very funny at this point that it kind of is taking a man to call him out on the BS that Lizzo started. So it's like Lizzo started to call him out on it and clap back at him, and now Kwame Brown is finishing it. I'm all for it because sometimes it really does take a man to put another man in their place, and I don't believe that Lizzo could have gotten him to the place where in this video, it almost sounds like he wanted to cry and shed a few tears. With Lizzo, he just kind of laughed it off, and then he put the spin on it and made it seem like, oh, well, this is about health, and Black people, we're the leaders in obesity and diabetes, and it's just not healthy for her to promote that, you know, type of lifestyle when Black people are dying every day. And that really was not what he was trying to say in the beginning. He was basically just calling her a fat Black mammy, period. And that's why she clapped back at him. And I, again, have my own personal issues with Lizzo, but it's not so much regarding that. It's just about just focusing more on her talent and her vocal skills versus her body. But that's, you know, that's not what this video is about. But the way Boyce Watkins came at her, and she didn't know who he was, and he chose and knew what he was doing to tag her so that she can get notified of what he was saying about her. Yeah, she clapped back at him. So she clapped back at him once, and now Kwame Brown is clapping back at him repeatedly. And I'm just here for it. I'm here for it because I really love to see another man put a man where they need to be if they are being disrespectful, if they are, you know, doing things disingenuous, if they are just flat out lying, or whatever the case is. I really am here for it. So yeah, I believe this may have been the last video that Boyce Watkins will do about Kwame Brown. Can't say this will be the last that Kwame Brown may do about Boyce Watkins, but I'm quite sure he's not going to continue to spend a lot more of his time and energy on this guy because it really is kind of a waste. But when you feel a certain type of way and somebody has done some crap to you, you have the right to share how you feel. You have the right to release that. You have the right to vent that, and you absolutely should. And because this was the method and the manner that Boyce Watkins chose to do it in, Kwame Brown is doing nothing different. So I'm all here for it, and I say cheers. So you guys let me know your thoughts about all of this in the comment section. Thank you so much for liking, commenting, and subscribing. And until the next time, I'm just being beautifully honest.